This time I've recorded on the cloud where the Zoom link will come and I'll share because last time I had some challenges because I recorded it on my laptop. All right. So this time that will be taken care. Um, Before we could get started, since we are also waiting for the others to join, Vijay and I were speaking and we thought we will remind you that today is the fourth session. Next week, since it's Diwali, we do not have a session. And the week after that will be our fifth session. Okay. And after the 5 sessions over, for the remaining 5 sessions, you may have to join in. And before that, you may have to make in your payment. So it will give you 2 weeks to do that. So I thought I'll just remind you. Of course, I'll remind you in the group also. But since we had some time, I thought I'll let you know. Okay. All right. Now, again, let me thank all of you. Many of you are on video and appreciate that cooperation. And you've been consistent in attending the sessions, okay? And consistent in interacting, consistent in doing a lot of things. Consistency is what will give you growth. Nobody will remember what somebody did once in a while. People will usually remember you for what you do daily or consistently, okay? So which you've been doing already. I'm so happy about that. So today's session is going to be very important for any human being, irrespective of your designation and roles. So that's emotional intelligence. And this, I have given a caption to win the world. It might look a little exaggerated. However, I feel that if you know to manage your emotions and if you know to handle others, nothing like it. You can go ahead and cruise through any of the difficulties in life easily. That's why I put the caption as to win the world. All right. And is my voice clear and audible? Should I be loud enough or is it fine?
Yeah, it's clear.
All right. Thank you. So what to expect today? We will see how to channelize our emotions in the right direction. Okay. And we'll understand the importance of self-awareness. Yeah. And then we will discover a few tips to manage emotions effectively. And one of the requests, as always, from all of you would be please participate and share your opinions, thoughts, and emotions also in this session. You don't have to wait till the role plays. You can now and then when the discussions are coming in, you can share. I also request you to please keep a notepad and pen handy because we will take a small emotional intelligence questionnaire uh, survey where you have to just write down some numbers and score them. Okay. So with that note, can we get started? We have only 14 people out of 24. Um, is Lakshmi Narayana there? Would it be possible for you to put it in the group and check? Like, because I don't want many people to miss.
Okay, let me pick in the group. Just give me a minute.
Sure, sure. Thank you. Thank you. Let's start with a feeling question. The entire session is about emotions, okay? So how are you all feeling today? Silence?
Yeah,
What's
good,
going on?
Jasmine. Good, good.
Good. No other choice, right? Huh? See, thanks for that reply. See, many of us, somebody's asking us a question. Okay, let's think practically. We'll either say, I'm fine, I'm okay, good. Maybe sometimes if it's really bad, we will say bad. Okay. What I'm trying to say is most of the time, our answers to this question will be binary. Binary is 0 or 1, right? Either good or bad or fine or not fine. But on the other hand, that particular day, you might be really feeling frustrated, okay, because of something which happened, because of an extended call or customer was like screaming at you or you had a tough time at family. Yet, when somebody's asking you a question, even if it's a closed one, sometimes we don't reveal because we suppress the emotions. We just say, ah, I'm okay. Yeah. So, what I'm trying to say is many a times we think that we should avoid emotions, we should suppress them. Yes, but not necessarily because human beings are beings who are supposed to show their emotions outside, and it is absolutely normal. And I would also like to call all of us as that we are a bundle of emotions right from our childhood till now. Yeah. Imagine during your school or college days when exams were there, you would have felt stressed. Yeah. Or maybe some of you would have been very cool, right? Thinking of, okay, let me have all the arrears, final year, I'll clear it. But whatever it is, at least from the family side, you would have had pressure. So all that would have made you to stress. And once you finish the degree, the next question from family or relatives would have been, oh, what are you doing now? You can't go ahead and say, ah, chumma, I'm sitting at home. Yes, they'll want you to get into a job. And then job hunt begins. You'll be worried whether you'll get it or not. And then finally you got that. Then people in a typical stereotype South Indian society, they'll look for marriage, right? Job has come and the next step is this. And then they so call it as happily married life. Yeah. But what happens after that, you'll only know. Yeah. And then after that, another responsibility of building a house starts. So you become excited. And then children come in, more responsibilities, and obviously you require more money. That leads you to become anxious. So, all of these emotions, I am very sure that you would have had ups and downs. It need not be negative all. It would have been happy, it would have been frustrating, ups and downs. But we have been always a bundle of emotions. Okay? Now that we have been always a bundle of emotions, my question to all of you would be, do emotions play a role at work, or should we think, oh, it's strictly business, don't take it personal? Let me say the question again. Do emotions play a role at work also, or should we have a motive? Oh, this is professional. Let me be not take it personal at all. What is your thought?
Definitely, it play a big role in workplace in the business. So both the answers, both the statements would correct. I think so. Will
Okay.
match.
All right. Okay. So that's Nelson's thought. How about the others? Rajan, what do you think?
Actually, it should be business only, but since we brought up like that, everything we tend to take it as a personal, and later on we realize that it's a business, and then we are living that at work.
Mm, okay. So it's a combination of both, is what I can hear Rajan say. I'm just like randomly picking up names. You can feel free to share your thoughts. Anyone can share thoughts. How about Sri Hari? What do you think? I can see that Sri Hari is joined. Would you like to share your thoughts? So this is the gap when it comes when we are not on video. Yeah, we won't even know what is happening with you. Are you struggling to unmute or what's happening? Yeah. Okay, let me ask somebody on the video. Vignesh, what do you think about this slide? Okay. Do you think emotions play a role at work? Or should I stay with the thought, oh, it's business, I shouldn't take it personally?
Yeah, as Nelson, then yes, Jasmine, it's affect the work.
Mm, absolutely.
However, we try to avoid that, but however,
Mm,
the thought comes in our mind during
mm,
work.
yeah. Thank you for sharing that honestly. Okay. So yes, of course, it affects. Okay. Sometimes we think, oh, I shouldn't take it personally. But then it goes without saying that we become emotional because it's part of us. Yeah. And if you look at this slide, these are some emotions which happens predominantly at work. Imagine you start your day and some of you might be working today. So after this training session, maybe you have to log in. Okay. And then after that Sunday, your family members, if you are residing with your family, they might be free. So they want your quality time. And then after that, you have to think about the next week. Maybe you have to buy groceries. If you're living alone, you need to take care of everything in the house. So there are so many multitasking which comes in. Yes. And the brain is programmed in such a way that it can concentrate on one task at a time. Then it is fine. But if you have to multitask all the time, what happens? You will feel stressed. Headache would come in. All right. Not for all of us, but for many of us. That's the normal tendency of a brain. And imagine that if you have a performance appraisal coming in, a review meeting coming in, and when you're in the spotlight, though you have prepared well, when you go in, you will be nervous. Okay. Of course, that's an emotion. And then imagine that there is a client meeting, client visit, which is coming in, and you are the one who's the spoke for it. And you will be concerned because you will be wondering, oh, everything should go correctly. And then imagine that you have a feedback session coming in where people are giving you feedback or you have to give. When you're talking about the behavior of somebody, it becomes obviously a little bit of uneasiness because you are talking about the behavior of somebody and you need to be very careful about the emotions of the other person. They shouldn't feel sad. And then in your role, let's assume, the next day your leader comes and tells you, okay, Bilal, you need to take care of like one or two extra responsibilities. And suddenly an extra responsibility, lot of changes are coming in and you'll be wondering, oh my God, how would I do this? You might be a little restless because change always brings in that. Or if you're in the system for a long time and you're waiting for a promotion and you're wondering, will I get it or not? That thought might bother you. So if you look at all this cycle, somewhere or the other emotions are coming in. And there is a person whose name is Dr. Trevor. He's also a TEDx speaker. He says approximately a human being goes through 400 emotional expressions, not one, two. 400 emotional expressions every day, it seems. Okay. So it goes without saying that when we spend maximum time in work and work related activities, emotions come in. And it is not wrong. But how do you handle it? That's where emotional intelligence will help you. So far, are you all with me? Yes?
Yes.
Thank you. So, emotional intelligence or handling your emotions intelligently can help you to lead a well being life, or it can help you to make you better leaders as you grow, or it can also help you to improvise your relationships. So, it is important for both your personal and professional life. So this is what is the agenda for today. We will now do a quick EI questionnaire. Keep your notepad and pen ready. And then we will see what is EI, why is it important. EI means emotional intelligence. Shortly, I'm calling it this. And we will also see something called as EQ versus IQ. And then we'll see 4 competencies of EI, emotional intelligence, and how do we enhance it. Yeah. Now for the questions to ponder, the next slide has the questions. Be very true to yourself while you answer these questions. I will not ask you to read the scores at all. It is confidential. You don't have to reveal. Yeah. All you have to do is read the question. Whichever is true for you, write that down. And then finally, we'll count the number and see where do you stand in terms of EI. In case if your score is less, don't be worried. Okay. We are here to go ahead and enhance it. In case if your score is really high, don't log out of the session also. You never know. You might learn something good, which you can pass it on to your family, friends, or your colleagues or new team members who are coming. Okay. Ready for the questions? So these are the questions. Let's go one by one. First question is, I am aware of the physical reactions, expressions, aches, sudden changes that signal a gut reaction. Okay, what I mean by this, gut reaction means I don't know why I like that person. I just don't like them. You don't have any reason. You have not interacted with that person, but it is a gut feeling, that intuition. I'm sure it would have happened in some instances at least. Yeah. You would see somebody and you will think, oh, I don't think, this is a good person. Yeah. Then is already laughing. So it happens. So that's a gut reaction. So, are you aware of your physical reactions, expressions, aches, sudden changes that signal a gut reaction? Not just in disliking a person, but in anything in your life. Either it can be decision making or it can be anything else. Are you aware? If you are aware most of the time, okay, you will put the score as 4 or 5 most of the time. But no, very rarely I'm like that. Then you put 1 or 2, don't put 3. Then for everything, if you put 3, 3, it will be 50-50. Is the question clear? If you have doubts, ask me. I'll explain it. Okay.
Could you
Second
please
question.
explain?
Sure. Yeah. First question is, I am aware of the physical reactions, expressions, aches, sudden changes that signal a gut reaction. For example, if I feel something about somebody or some decision, I might gr- create a small ache in my lower stomach. It's called as a gut reaction. Okay, intuition. We don't know. Logically, we don't know. We would have not spoken to that person. There is no proof that this decision is right or wrong, but we just feel that way. So, are you aware of those feelings? So, that's the question. Is this clear now, Rajan?
Exactly.
Thank you for asking that question also. Accordingly, give the score. Second is, I readily admit mistakes and apologize. I readily, look at that word, not after going ahead and thinking if it's my fault or their fault, and then after 5 days I ask sorry. No. If you feel that there's a mistake done, I readily, immediately admit mistakes and apologize. If you're most of the time like that, put 4 or 5. If not, 1 or 2. Don't overthink on the question. Be true to yourself. Nobody is going to check your score except you. Third question. I let go of problems, anger, or hurts from the past and I can move beyond these. Have you come across people 10 years ago, some fight would have happened in their family? They'll be still talking about it. Of what use it is, right? 10 years ago, that is done. All those people who were involved in the fight itself might not be alive also, right? But sometimes people still talk about it. So, how are you? Are you a person who can let go of problems, anger, hurt from the past? You can move on. Most of the time, if you're a person who's like this, and then put 4 and 5. If not, put 1 or 2. Is this question clear? Okay. I can see only 20 people there. All right. Okay. 4 of them, I'm not sure, but how I'll see to that later. Let's not get distracted. Fourth question. I generally have an accurate idea of how another person perceives me during a particular interaction. Perceives here means observes. Okay. Let me give you an example. Let's assume you're talking to a new team member who has come. You are talking to the new team member, and the new team member is looking at you. Okay. You are interacting. Do you have an idea that that person is observing me and I know what they are thinking in their mind? You don't have to exactly grab the thought, but what opinion are you giving them? Are you aware of that? Are you confident? Because some people, they'll talk, they'll be wondering, they'll be doubting themselves. Oh, am I talking in the right way? That person, what will they think of me? Will they judge me? There'll be doubt, doubt, doubt. Are you like that? Or are you a person who's very confident? Okay, I have an idea what other person, okay, I'm talking to Jasmine now. Jasmine might know why I'm asking this question. I don't have any kind of disturbances in my mind that she will misunderstand me. Okay. So generally, do you have an accurate idea like that? How other person forms an opinion about you? If you are very sure about that, most of the time in an interaction, put 4 or 5. If not, put 1 or 2. Fifth question. I have several important things in my life that I am enthusiastic about and I let it show. Have you observed this? If you ask few people, what are you doing this weekend? They will not have anything to say. Oh, what is this? Life is so dull. I'll eat, sleep. Eating and sleeping is okay. But the way they say it, they're not happy about it. Eating and sleeping is good. That's what weekend is for, right? You need to rest. That's why, 2 days or one day they have an off. But the way they say it. So, how are you? Are you a person who has something in life which you're excited about? Maybe you have a bike. Oh, I'll go for a ride in the bike. Or do you have a friend? My friend and we are going out. Or do you take your family out? Or do you just go on your own? Do you have something like that? Okay. Sixth question. I can easily meet and initiate conversation with new people when I have to. Not necessarily you have to just go to the bus stand, railway station, and automatically talk to people. Not that. But if there is a context given, somebody new team leader comes, new team member comes, someone who's new in that shop or canteen comes, do you go ahead and initiate a conversation and automatically talk to those people? Or do you take like 1 or 2 weeks or 5 months to talk to them? So if you easily meet and initiate conversation, put 4 or 5 most of the time. But no, I'm a typical introvert. I don't talk easily like that. It's okay. Put 1 or 2. because I'm also like that. I can talk in trainings, but if you put me in a group, it'll take me some time, but not days, but at least few hours it will take. And the last question, I take a break. This is the most important question. I take a break or use another method of increasing energy when I sense that my energy level is getting low. It is not just about physical energy. Okay. There are days you would have felt dull. You would have felt, oh my God, what is this life? Yeah. On those days, do you have a mechanism to cope up? Do you have a friend to whom you can call and speak? Or do you have something like, maybe sport or music or whatever is your coping mechanism? Do you have something? Once you do that, you will be back to normalcy. Do you have something like that? I'm going to pause here. This last question, is it clear? Do you want me to give you any other example?
Give another example.
Sure, Maheshwaran. Yeah. So, some days, I'm going to give my example, and I'm okay to be transparent with all of you because I know you for a long time now. Some days, weekends, I'll feel very dull. Like Saturdays, typically Saturday, Sunday, at least everybody will be there because I predominantly work from home. So I don't talk to people often. So what I do is I drive an automatic. So I will take my car. There is a coffee day shop very close by. I'll go there, I'll sit. And Coffee Day is one of the best shops where people can sit alone and nobody will stare at you. Otherwise, if you go to some other place and especially a lady sitting alone, all of them will be wondering what happened to her. So Coffee Day, I don't have that problem. So I'll go order one coffee, sit there for some time, just observe people, just look outside the window. And by the time I drive and come back, I'll be normal. My energy will be fine. That monotonous, the dullness will be gone. So do you do something like that when you feel low in your energy? Is this clear now, Maheshwaran?
Yes, yes, yes. I
Thank
understand.
you. Thank you. All right. Okay. 7 questions. You would have made the scores. Can you sum up the scores now? Count it, add it up. Once you're done, just give a thumbs up.
Yeah, it's done. Just.
All right. Wonderful. Now let's look at the scores. If your score is between 28 to 35, your emotional intelligence is good. Don't log off. Still be here. Okay. If your score is 14 to 27, EI is average. Okay. If your score is less than 14, then EI needs improvement. So this is based on a psychometric test. Okay. Psychometric test is they'll have some questions. Somebody would have invented something. They would have had questions around it and then they would have found it. So this is taken from one of the EI tools. So don't worry about your scores if it's average or low. We are here together to enhance it. If your average is already good, great, continue the consistency. So far, good. Now only we will go ahead and see EI. What is the definition? I'm not going to give it as a definition, but let's look at the second column first. What is not EI? Being smart, having a high IQ, okay, controlling others' emotions, manipulating, being a typical social guy or girl. This is not emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence is understanding when you are getting angry, when you are getting upset, what drives you mad, okay? And even looking at the others, if they are dull someday, cues means signs, okay? Picking up on others' cues. If they are dull, then you will understand, okay, something is wrong with me. So treating others well, these are all called as emotional intelligence. So generally we do this, but sometimes we miss out on these. So if you see this difference IQ and EQ, IQ is logic, reasoning. EQ is emotion, understanding. In other words, IQ is something which is fixed for a human being. That's what research says. You have a particular IQ, that's all. But EQ is something which you can enhance, keep enhancing it, keep enhancing it. And the survey also says most of the leaders in this world, okay, highly successful people also, may not have necessarily high IQ, but they definitely have high EQ. EQ stands for emotional quotient. And who invented all this? The man behind the scene. Daniel Goleman is called as the father of emotional intelligence. And this module is designed after reading his book. He has a book called Emotional Intelligence. And he says, in a very real sense, we have two minds, one that thinks, which is IQ, and one that feels, which is EQ. Thinking mind is IQ, feeling mind is EQ. Just remember it that way. So 4 competencies in EI, according to Daniel Goleman, are self-awareness, self-management. Are you aware of yourself? How do you handle your emotions? 2 things for yourself. Remaining 2 things, social awareness, relationship management. Since we work with other people, how do you handle their emotions? How do you manage relationships? Pretty simple. First competency, self-awareness. Very, very easy to understand from the name itself. Are you aware about your own emotions? Okay. How do you respond to people and situations? Do you have a neighbor by just looking at him, your BP goes up? Or do you have a person in your team or office by just looking at them, you don't know from where you get irritated? These are all your trigger points. Okay. Now, to enhance your self-awareness, what do? We will discuss it very shortly. But now again, let's be very honest. Look at this picture. I'll give you a scenario and tell me what would you do in reality, okay? You are standing in the traffic signal, bike or car, whatever it is. This signal is red. And there are few people who are constantly honking at the back of you. How would you feel and what would you do? That's my question to you. How would you feel and what would you do?
I just scold him with
Yeah,
me.
yes, absolutely. They deserve it also, will be my feeling in a way. Because signal is red. Where do we go? Can we fly and go? No. But there will be people who will be honking. So the trigger point is immediately to scold them. There are days when I've sat inside the car, the glass will be closed. I'll be still scolding. But only my, BP will go up. I'll only get irritated. The other person will not be even bothered. It's not affecting him. It's of no use to me. Okay. Let's look at another situation. Imagine you have come up in one bright white Ramraj cotton shirt. Okay. You're going to office and somebody accidentally spilled coffee or tea on you. What will be your first reaction? Brand new 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees shirt. What will be your first reaction?
I will angry.
Of course, right? You'll be so angry, not purposely, but that's the trigger point. Automatic reaction. I don't know if you've seen this ad for Pepsodent, I think. There will be one guy with that shirt. He's a manager, and a peon brings coffee or tea, he will spill it on him. And then they will show since he brushed his teeth with Pepsodent today, he did not get angry. So he will say, okay, mistakes can happen, something like that, he will say. So what they're trying to do in that advertisement also is they're trying to use emotional intelligence. Okay. But it is very hard because whenever we have trigger points, our mind will not even think. Automatically, we end up giving some reactions and emotions. So self-awareness is all about, are you even aware what triggers you? What makes you angry? Okay. Now I will give you my example. If somebody is calling me busy bee, I'll become very furious. I don't know why. I never realized that I become angry like that. But now I have tracked back what are the instances which can make me angry. Now, when somebody uses that, I'll be calm. I'll say honeybee and I'll go off. To that extent, I have mellowed down. Yeah. So, do you know your trigger points? When you're talking to your colleagues, when you're talking to your leaders, customers are talking to you or handling certain issues, what triggers you? What makes you upset? Are you even aware? Awareness is more than enough at this point, at least. To do that, what you have to do is you have to go back like 2 or 3 weeks ago, sit and see what were incidents which happened in personal and professional life. Where did you lose your mind? Where did you lose your cool? And if you lost your cool, you cannot get away even with family members by saying, hey, I was very sad and upset that day. That's why I scolded you. You can't get away like that. Remember, somebody is giving you coffee. Every day it's good. You don't compliment. But one day sugar is less. You go ahead and say, right? Oh, what coffee did you make? You don't even know to make coffee. That's losing your cool. So first step is always about awareness. Yeah. In the second competency, which is management, I will tell you how to handle it. So management is to use your awareness of your emotions and positively direct your behavior. When Gandhiji was pushed from the train, he was very angry. He was very ashamed. But he channelized his anger in such a way that he started a non-violence movement and he chased off the Britishers. The point is not about becoming Gandhiji. The point is about how did he channelize his anger emotion. So when you are aware, what is your trigger point? Going forward, when I give you some tips to overcome it, you should know how to channelize it into a positive energy. That is emotional intelligence. Okay. Now let's look at this slide. Again, let's be very honest. There would have been times in our life, including me, at least one of it, which is on the slide, we would have done. Okay. Angry outbursts, door slamming, especially if you have come across teenage nephew, niece, or if you are like, old enough like me, have a child like that, door slamming can happen. My daughter sometimes does that. If you do something she doesn't like, she will go ahead and slam the door like that. Yeah. Sometimes, this can happen in a professional setup. The third one, use of sarcasm or inappropriate humor. Sarcasm is, you know the meaning of it, but the other person doesn't know. And you are like, kind of like sarcastically, rudely using that remark. Okay. Or when you're very upset, if you send an email to somebody, that's called as an email letter bomb. And sometimes when you're upset or angry, you might sit quietly. You will be wanting to be left alone, withdrawal and isolation. Or, okay, somebody would have done something to you. You will keep it in your mind. Even if it is after 2 months, 3 months, you will get back at that person. Tit for tat, taking revenge. All right. Or what is passive aggressive behavior is aggressive behavior we saw that day, right? Aggressive is being very angry. But passive aggressive is you are looking at your friend, you can kind of find out that he or she is angry. But if you ask them, they'll say, no, no, I'm not angry. I'm fine. But they are not fine. When you call them for break, they will not come. When you pick up the phone, they will not talk in the usual tone. They will be upset, but they will not accept it. That's passive aggressiveness. Sometimes, not to be stereotyped, but women mostly do that. Yeah. We'll just say fine, fine, but our fine will not sound fine. Yeah. Okay. So all of this we would have done some point in life. But the question I have for all of you is, do you know your breaking point? What I mean by breaking point is this, what is this device? I know it's a silly question. What is this device on the picture? Easy, guys. Huh?
Thermometer.
Yes.
Thermometer.
Yeah. So we have a device to measure our body's temperature and decide whether we have fever or not. So that's the breaking point of our body. Yeah. But do we have any device to measure when we are emotionally overwhelmed? Do we have any device like that? One iPhone has come, Vikram's iPhone. Right. So we don't have a device, not to my knowledge. So
Yeah.
you and I, as human beings, we are all different. What works for me might not work for you. But are you aware when is your breaking point? Some people won't even realize, okay? They'll just continue with life. They'll go on with like, I don't have time to think all that. And then one fine day they'll fall sick. Okay. So what do you do to manage your emotions? Let me ask this question this way. Mm, most of us here, I'll not generalize. Most of us here at some point in life, we would have become angry, upset. When you're angry or upset, what do you do to manage your emotion? How do you come out of that anger or how do you come out of any negative emotion? What do you do? Krishna Prakash, would you like to answer?
emotional damage.
I couldn't hear you, sorry.
Oh, audible, ma'am? Hello?
Now you're audible, yes.
How did you manage your emotionals?
Yes. Let's assume, Krishna Prakash, in your life, because of something, you have become upset, okay,
Yes, ma'am.
or angry. So,
Okay.
how will you come out of that anger? What will you do?
I didn't think about that situation, ma'am. I think another
Okay,
situation to overcome it. To
wonderful.
forget
It's
that
a
situation.
very nice point, Krishna Prakash. Thank you.
Don't think over about that.
Yes, absolutely. So, replacing that bad thought or incident with another thought. That's a very valid point. What else can we do? Let's see. Yeah, I can also take one more input. Gopi Krishnan, would you like to say? Due to some reason, you've become upset. It can be because of a DSAT which has come, or maybe somebody bothered you. What will you do to come out of that upsetness?
If I'm angry means I'm quiet
Okay.
and yeah, that's all.
You'll be
I
quiet. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Okay.
and take some time to speak
Mm.
or
Better
to
than
react.
better than leaving out some words, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Understood. Thank you. Thanks. Sugana Patel, would you like to answer? What do you do to manage any of the negative emotions which comes in?
Yeah, leaving uh, the things behind will not solve the issue, or definitely it
Okay.
comes again to us.
Mm.
So just we need to think about that. So what was the wrong from our side? So need to think about that and accept if we had any fault from our side.
Mm.
So if we hurt someone else, we just need to give the reasons for that. So
Mm.
that I think resolving only the thing that can help us to come out from that negative things or
Okay.
anger.
Mm. All right. That's a very nice thought. You're also taking ownership in this. Seeing if it was anything from my side, which I, that's a very nice point. Because emotional intelligence will make you to think that way. You will take ownership. You will not always blame the others. Thank you for sharing that, Sukna Bhatti. So different things work for different people. Three people spoke, each of them gave their own thoughts. These are some things which I can give you as a coping mechanism, but you can feel free to add your inputs. Pause. Whenever you're emotionally upset, pause for a second. Breathe. Because that will avoid you to become reactive. Then, if it is a family member, okay, or if you have a situation where you can walk away from your friend or your good colleague, if you have an option, okay, not in meetings where your line manager is talking, you are walking away. Context is different. So, use it wisely. And breathing always helps. You cannot move anywhere. You have to be in that moment. Start concentrating on your breathing. Breathe in and then breathe out. Most of the time, it helps. Okay. And these are all few things which can work for others. Do a crossword puzzle if you are at the leisure of your house. Or there is also something called as a laughter therapy. If something has really, really impacted you and you cannot easily come out of it, go alone, laugh, smile. Just look at the mirror. When you smile and laugh, obviously the change of the body will change. The state of the body will change. So your mood will also change. Or you can go for a run, paint, draw, cook, ride, coffee, whatever it is. Yeah. Now comes the third one. The first two, self-awareness, self-management. How will you be aware if you're angry? If you're angry, what will you do? Now comes social awareness. Ability to accurately pick up on emotions in other people. Somebody is upset. Are you able to find out? Or are you clueless what's happening in their face and their life? Okay. So here is where empathy comes in. And we all know what is empathy because we are from the customer service industry. I'm going to play a small video. Apologies, it's a Tamil video. For those of you who do not understand Tamil, I will help you to understand what is the context. Yeah, it's from a movie, and I found it to be very relevant for one of the qualities called empathy here. So all of you would watch this video. It's pretty understandable even without the dialogue. And tell me how the hero is displaying empathy. Let me say the question. You will watch the video and tell me how the hero is displaying empathy. Okay, let's watch it now. I'm opening the video. Were you able to hear the audio?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Let me just come out of this video. For those of you who do not comprehend Tamil, were you able to still understand the context?
Yes, Jasmine. Understood.
Okay, all right. Now, which screen are you seeing? Are you seeing my presentation?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So in that video, where was empathy displayed?
Jasmine, still I can't able to see the presentation.
Okay, okay. Let me stop sharing and reshare. Okay, in that video which you watched, where was empathy displayed? The hero tried to do few things. So where exactly was empathy displayed?
When he hugged that person.
Hug the person, good. And he was also, since it all also had
He is
dialogues.
comparing with
Comparing with?
Gandhiji,
Okay. He was talking about the kind of work which he was doing, and that guy was irritated initially. But then Kamal Hassan came here and gave a context that what you're doing is keeping the place clean. You're not allowing diseases to come. You're doing service to the society. He gave a different context to the entire work he was doing. Then that guy started thinking, oh, am I doing something important? So he was also making the person feel important. That's also emotional intelligence. Okay. Nelson, would you like to add any other point which comes to your mind how Kamal was showing empathy?
Yeah. Actually, the main motto is he hugged that social worker, right? So that's the main scenario. And also the second part, after that, see a frame, the other two people are getting smiled, and also the environment get healthy. So that's what the
Correct.
frames get moved on. So
Yeah.
he also scored his love part and the social thing, both the place. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I observed in that video.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So when you're continuously holding on to emotional intelligence, the environment also changes. That's a good point. All right. Now we are going to third one we'll finish and we'll go to the fourth one. I will give you a few more tips which you can do at your work. We can't go and hug everybody. We'll end up in posh, yeah? So I'll give you a few things which you can do at work. Spend extra time observing, asking, and listening whenever it's possible with your colleagues, okay? I'm not saying you should leave all your work and do it, but whenever possible. When somebody is talking, whether it's a training session or any other session for that matter, maintain eye contact, give the speaker your full attention. Because whenever you're speaking, I am only looking at you, listening to you. You can also do the same with other people. Okay. And when somebody is talking, our mind is programmed in such a way that we make judgments. Okay. Even if some judgment is coming, oh, look at this person, his English is like this, look at this person is dressed like this, even that judgments come in, cancel those judgments and still continue to listen to that person with an open mind. Judgments will come, but don't prolong with that thought. Just keep observing the other person's eye contact or facial expression, things like that. So this is how you will improve your social awareness. Okay. Now comes the last competency, which is relationship management. I am observing people, I am listening to them. Now I need to improve the relationship with other people because you cannot function in your life alone. You always need somebody or the other. Okay. So you need to have clear communication. When there is a difference of opinion, when there is a friction, when there is a conflict, you should be in a position to get into a conversation with that person and handle it, not run away from there. Okay. So that's also emotional intelligence, not getting scared about conflicts and difference of opinions, still going ahead and facing it in the right way. So how do we do that? I have few questions. The first two are towards individual conversations. Okay. If you see a colleague who's coming in the virtual platform or in person or any other family member also, when they're looking upset, just don't walk away from there. Okay. Ask them a question. What happened to you? Would you like to talk? Take their permission. Because some people don't like to talk. They'll say, no, I want some time alone. Respect that. Move away. Even with my daughter, I do that. She's going to college. She joined first year. Okay. Because first year is usually difficult for children. Yeah. So whenever she's upset, I'll go and ask her, do you want to talk about it? She'll say, no, mummy, I'll talk about it later. Then I'll go away. If I compel her, that's all gone. Yeah, she'll become angry. Yeah. And then when they are sharing something, you can ask them, let me know if I can be of help. Again, take their permission. Okay, don't jump in and help. It will never be useful for the other people. Offer help if they want, they will take it. Now comes the team context. Okay, if you are a team leader or a team member, or if you have to handle certain initiatives, you can go ahead and ask the other people, what do you think went well and what can be done better? Or what do you think is your strength? How can it benefit the team? Or if there is an initiative, you can generally take an opinion. Thereby, you are including the other person. Whenever you're asking questions, not just here, anywhere, keep one thing in mind. Be careful about your tone and volume so that it doesn't sound authoritative. So these things can help you to build relationships in the work context, especially. So we saw 4 competencies, 2 to manage you, 2 to manage the relationship with others. All right. Now we are going to move on to some role plays, which Vijay gracefully helped me with. And let's be very honest, you don't have to take names, but if you want to discuss about situations, you can feel free to open up, talk, and we will brainstorm and come up with the fact among these competencies, what can be used. See, learning is not important. Going ahead and practicing it and implementing it is important. That's when the learning will stay with you. With that intention, somebody has put in some effort to pick up these scenarios. So you also come up with your scenarios if you have any, not compulsory, and we can discuss it without the names. Don't worry. So the first situation is this. Imagine a meeting in which you have all the leaders. Okay? Your managers are present. You have an opportunity to share your thoughts. Yeah. First, I'm going to ask you a question since it's emotional intelligence. Your feeling. Okay. How would you feel? What would you do? Let's see later on. How would you feel? Let's be very honest about our feelings. How would you feel?
Yeah, at the initial stage of my joining, I feel a bit nervous. After some days, okay, they
Yeah.
are team managers, so I feel better.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing that honestly, Madan, because he gave that disclaimer. When I was new, I was nervous. Sometimes it might be the fear of seniors also, which is again in our mind. Okay. Rahul, would you like to share your thoughts? If this is a situation, how would you feel?
I feel also nervous.
Okay. And
Yeah,
what will
hard.
bring that nervousness?
How to talk with
Seniors? How to talk with
seniors?
seniors?
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
it
Okay.
will
Thank you.
nervous.
Nervous. I understand. Thanks for sharing that. Shahid, this is just a follow-up question from Rahul said. He's saying nervous. because he's thinking how to talk to seniors. What do you think about that? Is that if we talk to seniors, what can happen? What do you think? I'm not able to hear you, Shayad. Do you want to put it in the chat? Because I'm not able to hear you. Can others hear him?
No, Jasmine.
Okay.
No.
Unable to hear you, Shayad. You can put it in the chat also, please. Yeah, put it in the chat. So the same question to you, Seshadran. Um, so nervousness stops us from talking to seniors. So what can happen if we talk to seniors? What can be the consequence?
If something we uh, mostly it will nothing will happen. Maybe if if we made some mistake means they help us to correct.
Mm, correct. Absolutely. Thanks for giving both the possibilities. Either nothing can happen, or if we make mistake, they might correct it. And we are more scared of the second situation. Oh, what will happen? Embarrassment. Everybody is there and I do a mistake. Then that's how we learn. So it's okay to talk. Okay. First thing is nervousness is a common feeling, but it is okay to overcome that talk at least from the second meeting. All right. Now, this question is for either. Yeah, go ahead. Somebody was saying
Yeah,
something.
Jasmine, I just have a different opinion on the
Yeah,
scenario.
yeah,
If the
yeah.
opportunity given to me in front of the leaders and managers, I'm sure I am 100% confident.
Mm,
And I would like to grab that opportunity in a well-wise manner. So that's what
mm.
I feel. So
Okay,
that's my opinion on this.
wonderful.
So that
Thank you for sharing that opinion. That's a good thought. All right. Thanks, Nelson. So, I was about to ask, now this forum is there. Okay. Somebody is like, confidently sharing, some are feeling nervous. Okay. And we already shared the feeling and we also shared the possibilities, like, what can happen. Either they will correct you or nothing can happen also. Now, my point was, even if you make mistakes, whether you're new, whether you are tenured in the system, need not be a criteria for you to talk. If you have a point, go ahead and share it. That's the start. Okay. Then, if that was not relevant or something like that, the leaders are groomed in such a way that they'll always give you the feedback later on if it is something really relevant to you. Or it can be something small, they'll give it in open forum. So do not be afraid about receiving that feedback in the middle of a group. It is okay. So that is the first step also for being emotionally intelligent. This is not just about stage fear or talking to people. It is also about I confidently say what's on my mind to the others and I'm ready to face the consequences. Okay. Yeah. Now, the second situation for all of you is you, you heard from a friend of yours that someone spoke behind your back, which was untrue about yourself, which was not correct. All right. You heard from a friend of yours, okay, that someone in your team or maybe somewhere else spoke behind your back, which was untrue about yourself. The first question to you is, how would you feel in this situation?
so until I'm in a direct conversation, I don't want to pitch in that scenario.
Okay.
So if repeatedly going on, if it comes to personally, that's a different scenario. If it comes to a workplace, I don't want to uh, ask this person. If possible, I can check with the person. If not, it's continuously repeating. I will check with the reporting manager to sort out the issue. So that's what I think about this scenario.
Okay. So it will not be a one instance. If it is continuously happening,
Continue.
then you will address it. Okay.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
that's what I said.
Fair enough. So first, how would you feel about this, Nelson? What would be your first feeling?
Definitely, it's not a good feeling.
Mm.
I don't have
Yeah.
words to say that, but if
Yeah.
it's untrue, first I try to sort out with that person. If
Mm.
nothing works, then I will move on with the next solution.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Okay. Thank you. So nobody will feel good about gossiping, and especially when it is not true, right? But as a person, as an individual, learned about assertive communication. You have every rights to go ahead and stop rumors about you. But how do you do that? Should be done with emotional intelligence. You cannot go and grab the shirt of the person and ask, why did you say that? You don't even know whether it's true or not. Okay. And then you cannot go ahead and confront that person very, very aggressively. So you need to pause. Remember that self management. You need to pause. You need to breathe. You need to relax, not write an email, not face that person when you're upset. Let it simmer down and then go ahead and action on it, whichever you think at that point in time is right. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to ask this question to Rahul. Rahul, in this situation, Nelson shared his thought how he will handle it. How you would have handled this situation?
Uh, I think,
Somebody's talking behind your back. Okay, they are saying, Rahul, this person who comes always late, but you're coming on. Okay, this is untrue.
yeah.
So, what will you do in this situation?
Uh, how do I say?
How to say? You can even say, okay, if it is not true, I'll ignore. Okay, I will not mind.
Yeah.
You can say anything.
First, first I will explain that
Mm,
they not understand my uh, mind means I
mm.
will ignore them.
Okay, good. Because you don't have to prove if it is untrue
Yeah.
also in a context which I shared. Okay, fair enough. Thanks, Rahul. How about Lokesh? How would you handle this situation?
Firstly, I feel sad with this
Mm,
situation. Jasmine.
mm,
Next, I will check with that people directly.
mm,
Uh, then after us go ahead with if it is true, I will don't talk with that person.
mm,
It is untrue. To
mm.
I will don't that.
Okay. Okay. So that's Lokesh's way of handling it. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Abdul, how would you handle this situation? I think Abdul is there, right? Yeah. I'm randomly calling out names, but you can also share if you want to. You don't have to think, oh, she never called my name. I'm just looking at the participants list here. Whichever names I'm seeing, I'm randomly calling. Okay. Abdul, I can see that you're there, but I don't hear you.
Yeah, Jasmine. Most of the time, I just accept the rumors what they are talking because
Mm,
I just ignore like accept it and sometimes I'll also ignore it.
okay. It depends on the context, isn't it?
Yeah, because if they're talking my personal life, I'll just
Mm,
accept it. Okay, because they don't know my personal life, so I'll just ignore
mm,
it. If they're
mm,
talking about any work related, okay, I'll just
mm,
ignore it because managers know what I'm doing. I can't.
mm,
I'm not needed to prove them always.
mm. Okay. All right. So again, if you see, observe this answer, there is no right or wrong answer. Everybody is unique, and out of your free will, whichever you think is correct, you're doing it. That's the point about emotional intelligence. We cannot devise a template and say, go ahead, handle it this way. Because it depends upon your rapport with the other person. It depends upon your life experiences. It depends upon how you think will work for you. Okay. And then many people are saying, I don't want to prove them. Yeah, I just don't want to prove. Sometimes I also do this with my friends, when I was in college, if they had sent something, many people thought I have attitude, okay, because I don't talk to people easily. Not because of attitude, it's just that shyness. Yeah. So I'll sit somewhere. If somebody's coming and talking to me, I will talk. Even lunch break, sometimes I've ate alone. Yeah. And then later on, when I gathered with few people and then I spoke to them all, during the sent off notes, they wrote, Jasmine, we thought you have attitude, but after speaking to you only, we understood that you're very friendly. So it happens, right? I never went ahead and proved anyone like, no, I'm fine, I'm shy only, but I like to talk. No, it just happened naturally. So it's your free will which should come into the picture. Yeah. But however, having said all this, if this is happening repeatedly, if it is affecting your character, if it can kind of harm you, then go ahead and take a stand also. That's absolutely fine. Yeah. Now comes another scenario. When you reached office, you noticed that there was a DSAT for a high priority case which you had handled. Okay. Um, Definitely you would feel upset, you'll feel frustrated, you'll feel sad. So let's leave the feeling question. With all that which you have learned in emotional intelligence, how would you handle your emotion here? What would you do? Any volunteers can answer. Palani, would you like to answer this question?
Yes, Jasmine, I'm new to here. I'm a newcomer. I didn't face
Okay.
this
Didn't
kind of
face.
situation.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, definitely I will. I'm not know about that, but uh, initially I'm sad. But I need to know how this issue came, how to need to solve like that action I need to take.
Okay, all right. Even when you have not handled, you are looking at the emotions and you are answering. Thank you for that, Palni, because thereby he is taking responsibility, ownership. He's saying, I will see why this happened and then I will action on it accordingly. This is a supposition. Okay. Has anybody handled the DSAT? Would you like to answer? Because I don't know who would have handled. Yeah, go ahead, please. Yeah, Nelson. You're on mute, Nelson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry about
No
that.
problem. No
If
problem.
I reached the office, I noticed the DSAT for the very high priority case. First thing I could do is just investigate which case it got affected, and based on that, what's the recent update on that, what the customer, I mean the update from their end, and based on that, I will try to sort out. If anything, able to give a very good troubleshooting solution to them, we will sort out with them. Otherwise, we can proceed with the next findings with the reporting, the documentation purpose. We'll close that case. This is what I followed in the past couple of DSATs. But to be frank, there is no DSAT happening in the regular times. It once in a while for the
Okay.
6 months, 8 months. So that's how the DSAT comes in this case.
Wonderful. And Nelson, since you've already handled it, when it has come and first DSAT, just try to recollect your memory on handling the first DSAT. How did you feel the first instant? Because you worked on it and DSATs don't easily come, but it has come. So what was your first feeling?
Yeah, sometimes DSAT not came for the ticket until we don't have a solution for that. Even the customer didn't get the actual solution. Even
Okay.
so, that's why the requester or the people who works the assignee of the ticket uh, get the DSAT. So what I feel in the sense, I didn't feel anything. It's a very normal emotion on that day.
Okay.
So I checked with that colleagues. I said it's a very normal thing in the part of the corporate, and we proceed with the next findings.
Okay. All right. So you've been very practical because this can happen and this has happened because of so and so reason. So you have handled it in a very normal mindset. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for sharing that answer. Do we have anybody who has handled DSAT? Experienced people? How about Bilal? Have you handled such situations? Bilal is not on video. Earlier he was on video, I think. Okay. Bilal, would you like to answer? Sorry, I can see you unmuting yourself. It's going on switching. I think he's not able to unmute himself. Okay. Has anybody else handled DSAT situations? Abdul, Suguna Patil, anybody?
Yeah, we have many. So not only on a DSAT from the users,
Mm,
even we got from the team leads, managers.
mm,
So whenever you're not done with the uh, assigned work,
mm.
so definitely you'll get back from get the things from the leads. So
Okay.
yeah, in that case, uh, we try to make them understand. So
Mm,
what stopped us from doing the
mm,
work,
mm,
and so yeah, we'll accept that and we'll uh, make time and we try to finish that. So instead of
mm,
just quarreling with them,
mm.
we'll make our time and we'll finish it.
Okay. All right. So that's a very calm way of doing it. But what has been your feeling, Suguna Patil, if you can remember? Did you feel upset? Did you feel, why should I explain this to them? Did you feel that, why did they not understand? Did any of such feelings come in?
First, like feel upset, but
Mm,
after that, so we are here to do that. So
mm,
yeah, just understand why are you here
mm,
and what lacking, and from others, like if someone has already completed that work and if you're not, so just understand what you're lacking, where you're
mm,
lacking.
mm.
Yep.
All
Try
right.
to get the things and
Mm, mm.
just more
Okay.
try to
Thank
learn
you, Suguna.
that's
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good answer. Because as he said, emotional intelligence is also about not blaming the situation and blaming the person. Okay. Rather, looking or turning the accountability inwards and seeing from your side what can you do about it. In that way, what will happen is over a period of time, you will feel that you are more in control. Okay. Because human beings are by nature control freaks. We like to have control over the situation. Okay. Sometimes control over the people. If that doesn't happen, at least you can have control over yourself. So anything happens, the initial feeling can be so normal. It is okay to feel upset. It's okay to feel frustrated. It's okay to feel, why should I, go ahead and do this? But then in case if you can do anything about it, are you ready to go ahead and take the ownership and action on it? All right. So that's the step of emotional intelligence. Now, so far we have seen three scenarios. We have one more scenario also. But before that, I would like to tell you all that emotional intelligence, as we discussed so far, is not possible all the time. Okay. Because there are certain situations where we still become um, taken away or carried away. And I don't know if you have come across the stereotyped thought. Um, Boys don't cry. Okay, if a little child, especially a boy child, is crying, parents usually will come and pacify, saying, oh, boy babies don't cry, you have to be strong. All that will come in. I would like to convey here, since I remember this point, that the research has proven that both the male and female have equal emotions. We can never say that women are more emotional or men shouldn't cry. These are all stereotype thoughts which we have been raised. Just think about this logic. Why God has given us tears for both the gender if we shouldn't cry? Anytime when there are pent up emotions, irrespective of the gender, if you have to cry, you can cry, let it out rather than piling it up. Yeah. Because I remember during the COVID time, there were a lot of engineers, especially in the company where I worked with. They all lived alone. Okay, and they were not sharing things with anybody, at least over the virtual mode. And these pent up emotions later made many people insane. Okay, I know personally people who became insane, who became sick So handling emotions is very important. The entire context of this training is to tell you that you can feel emotional. It's fine. But are you aware to channelize that emotions in a very constructive and positive way? That is in your hands, and that's where the competencies come into the picture. So have this awareness in the back of your mind. You don't have to think, oh, why should I become emotional at work? We are human beings everywhere. It is okay to become emotional, but how do you handle it matters. Now, let me give you the last scenario for the day. For some time, you have been thinking that your manager or team leader is being partial with you, okay, due to some reason. Yeah. However, during the appraisal or any other situation, you realize that it was all in your mind. You were misunderstanding, but they were not like that. Okay. Now, when a situation like this happen, okay, what is your opinion on this situation? Let's not even discuss what would you do because that question is not relevant. Yeah. So when a situation like this happens, what will run in your mind? You don't have to necessarily think this. You can think about anything, okay? You thought one particular person has an opinion about you, but later on you discovered, no, no, they did not think about you that way. They thought really, really high about you. All right. In any situation like that, what would be the thoughts which will run in your mind? Let me start with my example. My husband is my biggest critic. Okay. Whenever I run training sessions, especially on the Top Talents banner for the outside folks where everybody can log in, sometimes I'll share the link with him. He will sit, he will also log into the session. And after I finish the session, he'll give me so many points to improve on. Sometimes I'll be so irritated. I'll even think next time I shouldn't share the Zoom link with him. Yeah. So I was thinking, okay, I was thinking maybe like, I'm not perfect. Maybe like there's a long way for me to go. And there was another day where he brought in a recommendation where I need to write a book. Okay. So I asked him, you gave me so many points to work on. And then here you are coming with the thought that I need to write a book. Then he told me, no, no, you are there. You're already there. It's just that, like, being there, I want you to become better to best. But I'm giving you this responsibility because you're capable of articulating your thoughts. So that's when I understood, okay, he thinks high of me. But when somebody criticizes you, we label thinking, oh, maybe we are not right. But their intention was to make you from better to best. Later on, when I understood this, my entire opinion changed about that person. I became happy. The next time onwards, he doesn't stop criticizing. He still criticizes. But this time, I don't become upset about it because I understand his intention. Oh, okay, he's saying this because of this. Yeah. So, like that, that's the context. Has this happened to you? If it has not happened, it's fine. But if it has happened to you, yeah, what would be your thought process? Like how I felt you would feel, or is there any other thoughts? Is the context clear, people? Any confusions on the context? This has not happened with you. If it has not happened, it's okay. All right, let me give you another scenario. There is absolute silence.
Let
Nelson
me go
wants to
with
talk.
this.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead, go ahead. Yeah.
actually, what the people think is it's one of a controversial question.
I
Yeah, anyways,
know.
let me go with the what I faced in the sense.
Okay.
If it's partial, definitely the managers or TL would not be partial. They will go whatever they spoke in that appraisal meeting. Definitely, it's for the candidate self growth. Definitely, it could be one of the hard situation for anyone. But going forward, that will helps in very good way to make a success in this corporate field. That's what I think. This scenario makes a perfect.
Okay. All right. So when Nelson started, he mentioned that this is a controversial question. All right. Okay. So since Nelson, you answered, I'm just like probing further, but however, not to put you on a spotlight. Yeah. What made you to start with the note that this is a controversial question? What made you to use that word controversial?
This This question itself a little bit what the manager thinks, because we can't able to comment in the open platform. We
Okay.
can't able to share the personal
Because
examples.
it's recorded
Uh,
also. Yeah.
yeah, it's also recorded. So that's why I added the controversial question. Where even this question is definitely a controversial.
Okay.
That's why I told.
All right. Fair enough. See, I'm glad that he explained that part also. Because when there was a lot of silence, it can be because of that. But Nelson, still you were like brave enough to come up with your opinion. That's what is important. Not worrying about the consequences. Yeah. Because this is a platform which is safe. But having said that, when there is a recording, there will be a little bit of hesitation. I completely understand. I'm going to give you one last situation, not with work. Okay. Because personal life, professional life, both the situations, we are the same human beings. Okay. Now imagine a situation that um, one of your friends, okay, one of your friends is extremely, extremely angry on you. Okay. One of your close friends is extremely angry on you. Okay. Let's forget the feeling. Of course, you will become upset about it. But how would you handle that? This comes in relationship management, okay? Fourth competency. How would you handle this situation? This is the last scenario for the day. Krishna Prakash, would you like to answer, please?
Shall you share the question again? I
Yes.
cannot understand.
So somebody is one of your friends, okay? You have
Okay.
a best friend in life. Is that correct, Krishna
Yeah, yeah.
Prakash? You
Yes.
have a
Yes,
friend?
yes, yes.
Okay. That friend is angry on you. Yeah.
Hmm.
So how would you handle this situation? That's the question.
I asked why you get angry on this situation. What is the reason why you get angry?
Mm.
How I say, if I can solve the problem, means I can solve. Otherwise, I say to him to leave it. We can see next time. Or
Okay.
forget the situation. If it will happen, but we'll overcome it. That's why I give advice. If I able to solve the problem, means I will solve it.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. Thank you, Krishna Prakash. So two possibilities. If it's possible, he will solve.
We'll solve.
If not, you will say next time, let's see. Correct?
Let's see. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for that. Gopi Krishnan, how would you pacify your friend?
First of all, I will try to speak with him. If I made any mistake, means I will ask apologies or sorry, and I will try to solve that problem. Get us.
Okay. All right. Um, Thank you for that answer, Gopi Krishnan. But do you have thoughts like, why should I ask sorry to a friend? Do you have that thought sometimes?
Yeah, if anything I did mistake, means definitely I want to ask. If anything.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you for that answer. All right. Now, with this, we have completed our scenarios and our 4 competencies as well. Okay. Um, this is a quick summary of all that we have seen. We saw 4 competencies. We also spoke about IQ, EQ, so on and so forth. Now, here is one picture which is about being mindful. This is a bonus tips. Okay. Of all the 4 competencies and ways, if you cannot remember anything, it's fine. Practice being mindful. That will help you to improve your emotional intelligence. What is being mindful is being in the present. For example, if you're in the session, 100% you're in the session. All right. If you're praying, if you're worshiping your God, 100% you're only doing that, not anything else. Some people, if you see everywhere, they'll multitask. That is not being mindful. Being mindful is being in the moment, being in the present, physically and mentally. This one, if you practice itself, it will make you more and more emotionally intelligent. All right. Any thoughts, any questions? So I've also typed in the feedback link in the chat. I am tired following it up with you all. Okay. So take 1 minute, finish the feedback. Only then you're going to go for the day. Yeah? It'll take only 2 minutes. You can put your key takeaway in that form itself. I will wait. Okay. Log into that form, that link which is there. type in your key takeaway there. If you want, I'll keep this slide open where it has the summary. But please finish the feedback form now.
Jasmine, I have a quick query.
Yes, Madan, please.
Yeah, slide, I don't know, 22 or something.
Ah.
How we can control our anger? But in
Yes.
that slide, there is a word laugh, but
Okay.
it has scenarios, right, Jasmine? Because laughing, okay, it can control, but what if the worst scenario, if someone is giving a feedback, bit frustrated or bit tense, something, they are laughing, it will irritate opponent, like not opponent,
Absolutely.
manager or someone.
Absolutely. See, that's a very valid question, Madan. Let's assume, I am angry. Okay. And if Madan is going to laugh, that will make me even more angry, isn't it? Yes.
Okay.
Because it's like adding fuel to the fire, because I'm already upset and I would want you to become either very serious or like apologize. That's my expectation. But in that place, if you're going to laugh, definitely I'll become upset. By the context of laugh being here is not exactly doing it in the moment. But if you are upset, okay, if you are really frustrated and that emotions are too much, there is a therapy called laughter therapy itself, which can help us to come out of that emotions. If you go to the Marina Beach, morning 6 o'clock and all that, you can see a lot of old people gathered in the form of circle. They'll all be laughing. Okay. That's called as laughter therapy. That is for you individually as a person, but you will not be able to use it in the moment. In the moment, the best things to use are breathing, pausing, because the other person won't even know that you're doing it. Yeah, that's a good question. But did it answer your question?
Yeah, understood, Jasmine.
All right, thank you. Any other questions you can ask people? In the meantime, please fill in the feedback form and only then you should log out, okay? Because last time it was tough for me to follow it up. It'll take only 1 or 2 minutes to put that feedback form. I'll also go to the slide which has the summary. You can also type in your key takeaway there. And I'll also stop recording.